Twice a week, these farmers and local businessmen wake up at 2 o'clock in the morning. They get together here at the Klipvoor Dam in 𝗀𝗁𝗀 National Park between Brits and 𝗀𝗵𝗶𝘀 in the northwest. Together with park management and rangers, they're clearing illegal gill nets, trying to drive out the poachers, stripping the dam of its fish.
We are under siege, if I can explain. We are facing a lot of poaching incidents. Every day, every night, they are coming in, putting nets.
But as day breaks, a strange picture unfolds. Scores of dead fish wash up on the shore. Something is lurking under the murky surface of the dam, and it's killing the fish. Now scientists are researching what exactly is going on, and what they found in the water is unnerving. Our journey begins 80 kilometers upstream, just outside Pretoria. This is the 𝗀𝗶𝗴𝗶𝗴𝗆 River, a major tributary of the Klipvoor Dam. Last year, a cholera outbreak in 𝗀𝗵𝗶𝗀𝗆 made international headlines. Corruption, fraud and lack of maintenance had caused the 𝗀𝗏𝗏𝗏 wastewater works to collapse. Government hung its head in shame.
We have failed the people of 𝗀𝗵𝗶𝗏𝗆. We have failed you.
A year later, and not much has changed. The smell is overpowering, it's unbelievable. And every single day, hundreds, if not thousands of liters are going straight into the river. This hasn't been treated. This is literally raw sewage going straight into the river. No wonder there's nothing that lives there. Oof. But cholera was only one result of the defunct wastewater works. The collapse of 𝗀𝗏𝗏𝗏 has caused a chain reaction along the entire 𝗀𝗶𝗏𝗏𝗏 River, from where the effluent enters the 𝗀𝗶𝗏𝗏𝗏 River in Pretoria to the Klipvoor Dam, 80 kilometers downstream.
We were wondering what's happening further north as you follow the river.
Dr. Christoph Truter is leading the research with a group of scientists from the universities of Stellenbosch, Limpopo and Onderstepoort.
There's a point where if the river is impacted too much, it cannot clean itself. So the question was, can this really heavily polluted 𝗀𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 River clean itself if we track it downstream, and also where does it go?
We decide to see for ourselves what life can survive in water so polluted.
Ready?
We are going to make use of electrofisher to collect the fish.
Veteran water expert Andre Hofman takes us into the river, just below the 𝗀𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 wastewater works. The extra protection is because pollution levels are so high here, we're advised not to even breathe freely.
I've been working on the 𝗀𝗁𝐶𝗿𝗆𝗆 also, which is very bad also, but this is much worse.
We find no fish, not even catfish, a hardened species. In fact, we find no animal life.
It's like a sauna.
We move further downstream, about 8 kilometers from the sewage works.
So maybe here there might be a bit more luck.
Yes, it might have recovered a little bit here.
Here, a beautiful wedding venue once sprawled on the riverbank. Now it's deserted. We don't spot a single insect.
If you remove the sewage works or get the sewage works to release proper cleaned water, then it should recover within 2 years.
2 years?
Yes. But to recover to what it was will take 50 to 70 years.
50 to 70 years?
Yeah, because it will never recover to what it was.
Yeah.
I don't see any movement of fish. I don't see any invertebrates moving.
And by invertebrates, you mean things like?
Midge larvae,
yeah.
Dragonfly larvae,
yes,
stuff like that, yes.
A flow of raw sewage destroys not only life in the water, but livelihoods on its banks.
Met die probleme met die 𝗀𝗁𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 en die gehalte van die water, is ons deur die markte van Pretoria en Johannesburg gestop om enige produkte te lewer.
𝗀𝗏𝗶𝗴𝗶 farming dreams are over. A couple of years ago, 𝗀𝗏𝗲's dam walls caved in and sludge flooded 𝗀𝗏's farm.
Daai rou, grys, swart, dit veroorsaak dat my plante en my skade op my grond so erg geraak het dat ek nie meer enige groenriet kon plant nie, want die blare is fisies swart gekleur en dit het totaal my hele boerdery vernietig.
𝗀𝗏𝗃's has no choice but to give up farming, and no one will buy his land. Like some of his elderly, unemployed neighbors, 𝗀𝗏𝗃's will soon depend on a state social grant to put food on the table.
Ons kan niks doen nie. Ons is heeltemal basies gekortwiek om enigiets te doen. Jy weet, ek is al 71. Ek wil ook graag dalk 'n bietjie aftree of rus of iets anders te doen. Maar nou sit ek hier so vasgevang. Hulle hou my gevang op my eie grond.
On the banks of the dam, Dr. Truther and his team have set up a makeshift lab. They're dissecting specimens to determine whether the river has cleaned itself on its 80-kilometer journey from Rooiwal.
If I pull over, you'll see the sort of slimy threads. That's an indication that the gills are irritated.
Dr. Johan Steyl, a pathologist from 𝗀𝗏𝗃𝗃, says the fish are in terrible health. Low oxygen levels and high levels of pollutants in the water have left them vulnerable to parasites like these ones found in the brain of a carp.
This is probably the most eutrophic dam I've experienced in my life. Eutrophic in the sense of continuous algal blooms. The dominant species in this bloom is Microcystis. So it's a cyanobacteria.
Dr. Truther is talking about a blue-green algae that flourishes in the presence of sewage and produces a potent natural poison. Water tests also raise serious concerns.
Pharmaceuticals, antibiotics, antidepressants, antifungal, killing yeasts and fungi, and then also ARVs, antiretroviral drugs, which is used by AIDS patients.
As these chemicals wash into the dam with untreated wastewater, what is the effect on the ecosystem in and around the dam?
We're collecting fish here and we're analyzing the mussel itself to see whether we can find things like some of the antibiotics or other chemicals within those fish, and whether that would pose both a risk to humans, but we're also very interested in animals, a risk to animals. In this system, you know, you've got fish eagles, you've got other larger animals, there's crocs here, crocodiles here eating the fish, so they're also at risk.
And that's not all. The water contains illicit drugs.
Methamphetamine was one of the interesting ones, which is the tic.
Tic, a cheap, highly addictive drug and one of the most abused substances in South Africa. It's in the water at such high levels that the fish themselves can become addicted.
We did find about 1 microgram per liter of tic, of methamphetamine in the 𝗀𝗏𝗃𝗃 River. And so that was quite interesting because another study that was published by a British group showed that at that level of methamphetamine, trout fish would become addicted to that drug.
So the fish could get addicted to the drug itself if they're swimming in that kind of water?
Yes, yes.
Wow.
So there are some studies that show that fish behavioral studies, they do selective visits to places where there is high drug levels.
And that's not where it ends. Levels of human hormones like estrogen are off the charts. 130 times as much as the international guideline. So high, it changes the biology of the fish.
That can feminize fish. The one thing is that, so if you have male fish that are exposed to those estrogens, they could be feminized. So that could impact their reproduction, etc.
What no one knows is the effect this pollution has on the people who depend on the dam to supply their water and food.
These are communities living 80 kilometers downstream of the pollution source. They're absolutely vulnerable. They had nothing to do with the problem, but they're sitting with the legacy of what's going on upstream, and they are eating this fish, and they are using this water.
It ends up in the street, black market. Okay. Because if you can go to Pretoria Mabopane station, They are selling it everywhere.
Okay.
They are not even hiding. They are selling it public. Hold this, please. Nice.
While the scientists are busy in their makeshift lab, rangers and farmers are pulling net after net out of the dam.
As you can see, the fishes are dying. It means this net has been here for a day or two. They collect the fishes from the dam. They put in a 125-liter bucket. If you carry one bucket, it's 120 to 150. Then if they sell it to the black market, the biggest cup, they can sell it for about 250 to 300 rand each, showing that they're making good money out of this. That's why they never stop. Even if how hard we try, they never give up.
Every day, buckyloads of fish are shipped from the park. Criminals are caught but never prosecuted, allowing a lucrative business to flourish off the back of unsuspecting consumers. Vital ecosystems and habits are collapsing, all as a result of government's inability to repair 𝗀𝗏𝗏𝗶𝗴𝗶𝗴𝗏 wastewater works.